I didn't really know how to start this video. I knew I wanted to do something to acknowledge Ben Potter. I never knew his full name, to be honest, until today. He was always just Benny from Comicstorian, and I didn't know him. I didn't, but I felt like I did, and I think a lot of people felt like they did. So I'm not here for views and clicks and likes and all that sort of shit. I'm here just to give my thoughts about a guy that through the screen was so passionate about what he did, what he was lucky enough to do for a living. I watched Comicstorian before any other comic YouTube show. Comicstorian and Comics Explained. They were the two shows that got me into watching comic book stuff on YouTube. Before that, it never even occurred to me. I just read comics. You know, you have so many shows out there now, Aussieverse being one of them, that try to come up with something that they feel passionate about, that they can contribute to the pop culture world or whatever world. Because the truth is that even though some people are doing it to be able to make a living and whatever, I feel like there are some people out there like Benny that do it just because they love it. You know, I love doing what I love doing, but I'm not going to lie and say, yeah, if it was up to me, I'm hoping I'm successful and I can do this for a living. That'd be fantastic. You know, I've never tried to hide that, but I think with Benny, again, I feel stupid talking about him like I know him, but he gave you such a vibe that even if he had a job, even if he was busy, he'd still be doing at least some part of Comicstorian, because you could hear the passion in his voice and had the excitement when he'd show his face on camera, that there was no bullshit with him. He was, at least I believe, he was what you saw on camera. And I used to come home every day to watch the latest Comicstorian videos. For those that don't know who Benny is in Comicstorian, I implore you to go check it out on YouTube. There's now about 4 different channels for Comicstorian, but the one that got me into him was he had a channel that I would have loved to have been able to do, and that is read comics with his passion, his voices, while showing the panels. So you didn't even need to read the comics yourself, because Benny was there reading them for you. And when I couldn't afford a lot of these books, we were all lucky enough to be able to have Comicstorian be able to read them for us, and not just read them, you know, like Spider-Man jumped through a window and did this and did that, but Spider-Man jumped through a window, you know. I don't know if we're ever going to get that again. There are people that can emulate it. There are people that can try to do it. But I really don't believe we're ever going to get somebody that can do it the way that he did. after discovering the comic reading, he then put out a show that inspired me to create my own thing. And that was the Weekly Pull. This was a show where he sat down with, back in the day, it was a few people on a panel. Sal, Comic Pop, Comic Explained, and a couple of other people that I've gone blank now because it's been so long since that particular segment was on. But every week I looked forward to that because I got to watch people that were in my lounge room every week talking about the latest comic book news. And it was informative, it was funny, it was passionate, it was never quite serious, but when they did talk about serious stuff, it was still done in a very friendly way. And that I watched that show religiously, and it made me go, man, I'd love to do that. And then when their programs changed and it ended up becoming just him and Sal doing Absolute Comics, again, it was just those two sitting there every week talking about the latest comic book news. And it saved me the effort of Googling, of checking links on other social media platforms, because I had Comicstorian. And that was the channel that would keep me informed about all the comic news. And that's what I wanted to do. That's originally what I wanted to do. I wanted to be exactly the same, have a panel of people where we could talk about comic book news. And it's not easy. It's not, because you need people that you trust. You need people that you can bounce off. You need people that are willing to be as committed as you. And even though I feel like I'm in a great place now with Aussieverse, it's still quite hard because people have children, people have lives. And to be able to be committed every single week and bring up all the comic book news, because you have to go get that information and then bring it to the public. You know, I could never match that. I could never try. I tried, but I could never do it. And Benny made it look so easy. And Sal. This channel, I believe, will stay alive, and I hope it does. His wife put out a statement saying that they don't want it to end this way. And like, don't get me wrong, even if they do decide to not do anything with it further, as viewers, we have to have respect for whatever decision that they make. And I don't have the answer as to what they should do, but you know, I sit here and I talk about how I feel as a guy that's never met him, never spoken to him, but I got to know him as much as I could through watching him on a screen. So that can't even quantify to the people in his life that actually miss them. And my heart goes out to you. Just like any time somebody passes away, it's not easy. And well, it's not easy. But I think people need to make videos like this to show their appreciation, to show their respect and love for a guy that, and not just Benny, but the crew that he had, the people that would, I'm sure, help him. This channel meant so much to so many of us. He had his manga channel, he had his comic book channel, he had gaming, he had so much. And it would have been a big commitment for him, but again, he made it look easy. And I'd love to hear other people, what their experience was with Comicstorian and how they felt about them. Like these. that says it all. When I got told today, I instinctively thought, no, it's a prank, you know, because you hear about people dying all the time with the celebrities and stuff, and I'd hoped that was the case, but it isn't. So I guess I put this video out to anybody that wanted to join and share their story, but I didn't give anybody any notice, so I'm not getting any messages. I'm just going to quickly check in case I am missing something, because I'd hate for somebody to want to join this stream and share their experience and I ignored them. So bear with me. And if there's nothing, I'll just conclude. No, okay. I don't know how to end it, but thank you, Benny. Thank you, Comicstorian. Thank you, anybody that had anything to do with that channel. And my heart goes out to you. And I hope more people make videos like this, sharing their love from all around the world, because what could make the mourners, the family, get through this, I guess, is seeing the extension of what he built, what he created, and what it meant to other people around the world. I'm a guy from Australia, for crying out loud. You know, you might not have even realised you had fans in Australia. I don't know, but I'm sure you got fans in many countries. And Benny meant something. Benny meant something to me, and he meant something to a lot of other people. So thank you.